In a world that had forgotten how to listen, where the gentle whispers of nature were drowned out by the noise of progress, there was a child who could hear everything. Her name was Lena, a little girl with eyes as deep as a forest she called home. Every morning, as the sun painted the sky with hues of gold and rose, a single, glowing butterfly would appear, its wings a kaleidoscope of impossible colors. It danced in the air, a silent beacon calling only to her. One day, curiosity finally bubbled over. Lena followed the butterfly deeper into the woods than she had ever gone before, to a clearing bathed in an ethereal light. "Why?" she whispered, her voice barely disturbing the stillness. "Why do you follow me every day?" The butterfly shimmered, and a voice, like the chime of a tiny bell, echoed not in her ears, but in her mind. "Because you can hear us," it said, "and no one else can." As if summoned by this first exchange, the air began to fill with butterflies. They swirled around her, a living, breathing storm of color and light. They weren't just flying, they were speaking. A butterfly of the deepest sapphire landed on her hand. "Blue is sadness," its voice resonated, a gentle wave of melancholy washing over her. "It is the color of the tears humans hide, the unspoken grief that settles like a heavy morning mist." Then, a brilliant yellow one, bright as a dandelion, fluttered by her face. "Yellow is hope," it chimed, its voice full of warmth and promise. "It is the first ray of sun after a long night, the belief in a new beginning that humans so often forget." Lena looked around, bewildered, her heart a mix of wonder and confusion. Dozens of butterflies, each a different shade, shared their secrets. A fiery red one spoke of anger, a fleeting blaze that burns hot but fades with the wind. A soft, gentle green one whispered of healing, slow and patient, like a new leaf unfurling after a harsh winter. Lena looked at the vibrant tapestry of life all around her. "Why?" she asked the swirling mass of colors. "Why are you telling me all of this?" Together, their voices merged into a single, profound whisper that seemed to come from the very soul of the forest. "Because you still believe," they said. "You haven't yet learned to build walls around your heart. You haven't forgotten that magic is real." In the weeks that followed, the butterflies became her teachers. They showed her the secret language of the world, a language spoken not in words, but in feelings, colors, and light. They taught her that the crimson of a sunset wasn't just beautiful. It was a sigh of contentment from the sky as it settled down for the night. The silver glint of moonlight on a stream wasn't just a reflection. It was the water's quiet song of travel and persistence. A white butterfly, pure and serene, taught her the most important lesson of all. "Silence is not emptiness," it explained. "It is listening. It is a space where the quietest truths can finally be heard." With each lesson, Lena felt a deeper connection to the world. She saw the joy in a blooming flower, the sorrow in a wilting leaf, the anger in a thunderclap, and the peace in a gentle breeze. She looked at the adults in her village, always rushing, always talking, their faces etched with worry and distraction. "I wish they could hear you," she said softly to her winged friends, a sad smile playing on her lips. "I wish they could see what I see." One afternoon, the world changed. The sky, once a clear and peaceful blue, began to darken with an unnatural gray. The air grew heavy and still. The butterflies, usually so full of life, began to scatter in a panic. A magnificent purple butterfly, its wings the color of a stormy twilight, landed on her shoulder, trembling. Its voice was no longer a gentle chime, but an urgent, desperate plea. The forest is in danger, Lena. Fear, cold and sharp, pricked at Lena's heart. What kind of danger? She asked, her voice shaking. The butterfly's voice was filled with the sorrow she now understood all too well. The kind humans don't see, it whispered. The kind they don't notice until everything they love is gone. In the distance, a sound she had never heard before ripped through the tranquility of the forest. It was a monstrous, grinding roar, followed by the heartbreaking crash of a giant tree falling to the earth. A thin wisp of smoke began to curl into the sky, a dark scar against the bruised purple heavens. Panic seized the village, but not for the forest. The adults were gathering, their faces grim, talking of expansion, of progress, of clearing the land for new homes and beggar fields. They saw the trees not as living beings, but as obstacles. They heard the sounds of destruction as the sounds of opportunity. Lena ran to them, her small body trembling but her spirit resolute. She stood before the village elders, her eyes pleading. "Stop!" she cried out. "You have to stop! The forest is dying!" An old man, his face a mask of impatience, looked down at her. "She's just a child," he said dismissively to the others. "Her head is filled with fantasies. Butterflies don't talk." Tears welled in Lena's eyes, not of sadness, but of a fierce, protective love. "I'm not talking alone," she said, her voice ringing with a strength she didn't know she possessed. "I'm speaking for them, for all the voices you've chosen to ignore." As she spoke these words, something miraculous happened. The sky, which had been growing darker, suddenly erupted in light. Butterflies, thousands upon thousands of them, poured from the forest. They filled the air above the village, their wings glowing with an inner fire. Every color she had learned: the blue of sadness, the yellow of hope, the red of anger, the green of healing, all shone together in a breathtaking, silent protest. The villagers fell silent, their skeptical faces turned upward in stunned awe. They couldn't hear the butterflies' voices, but for the first time, they could see their feelings. They could see the forest so laid bare in the sky. The moment stretched, suspended in light and silence. The roar of the machines in the distance faltered, then stopped. A change began, not with a grand announcement, but with a quiet, collective shift of hearts. One by one, the villagers lowered their tools. They looked from the glowing sky to the ancient trees, and for the first time, they saw them not as resources, but as kin. Nature, which had been holding its breath, seemed to exhale a long, slow sigh of relief. A single butterfly, the first one she had ever spoken to, landed gently on Lena's outstretched hand. "You listened," it whispered, its voice filled with a soft, grateful light. Lena smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached her eyes. "I always will," she promised. As the sun began to set, casting long, peaceful shadows across the land, the butterflies ascended as one, a swirling river of light flying into the twilight sky, their message delivered. Their story reminds us of a simple, forgotten truth. What if nature has always been speaking to us, in the rustle of leaves, the song of a bird, the color of a sunset? What if it has been pleading, celebrating, and warning us all along? And what if all we ever needed to do was simply learn how to listen again? Thank you for joining this journey. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales that remind us of the magic in our world.